I'm Scott Flowers with Cloud Ninjas. Today we're here to talk about Cloud Ninjas ARA-4LS. Let's get going. Hey, thanks for stopping by today to learn a little bit more about the Cloud Ninjas ARA-4LS. Do us a favor, if you find anything that helps you in this video, click that like and smash that subscribe. All right, let's hop in. This is a box that we have created for all of our Ryzen friends out there who love Ryzen servers as much as we do. So we've created a box that we think you guys will really like. So let's hop in, and this video will be dedicated to all the hardware that goes into it and what is all supported. So let's just hop into the fun stuff. Well, if y'all know me, the first thing I always like to cover is the CPU, and this is going to be a single socket Ryzen CPU, which means it's an AM5 socket. It's the newest Ryzen that's out as opposed to the AM4 being the last generation. And I'm a huge fan of the Ryzens. It's one of the cheapest and easiest dedicated servers that you can put together out there and still get a hell of good performance, because the Ryzens are honestly underrated by a lot of people, and there's not even any real true competition to it from Intel. And so the Ryzens are just a great solution, again, for a cheap dedicated server. From our standpoint, what we were looking to do was create something that would still be, very budget friendly and get you everything that you want with your Ryzen servers, but be a quick turnaround, because we all know the lead times from Supermicro are not that great right now, and they can be 6 to 8 weeks and turn into 12 weeks. I mean, it's been brutal. And so our goal was to be able to stock a solution where you could call us and say, hey, we need 12 of these turned around and get them out tomorrow, and we could do that for you. So that was our goal with this box, and have some extra features that you aren't getting with, say, the Supermicro box right now, because the Supermicro box only has one cabled in hard drive, right, where this is going to have 4. So, and I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. I'm getting into all the drives and everything else. So let's go back to the CPUs. So again, one AM5 socket. There's a number of CPUs that we recommend. People ask us, hey, which ones do you like? And it depends on your budget, depends on your application, and it depends on how many cores and what speed you need. But we break it down into our low end, our value, and our high end. I'm a big fan of when you go to the 7000 series, the 7950X, the 7950X 3D. For the 9000 series, I like the 9700, the 9900X, the 9950X. All these are great processors. And now that you have also the 4004 EPYCs, there's some great procs there as well. So there's a bunch of different choices. So we threw up a little chart that hopefully is helpful for you. And if there's something you like, hey, drop a comment down below. Well, let's talk about RAM. It takes DDR5 memory. There's 4 DIMM slots inside. It takes ECC unbuffered or non-ECC unbuffered memory. So no, you cannot drop in ECC registered. It will be non-ECC or ECC. You can get a total of 192 gigabytes, which means, what are the DIMM sizes? You can go as low as an 8 gig, a 16 gig, a 32 gig, or all the way up to a 48 gig. So 4 by 48 gig to get you to the 192 gigabyte is the max configuration, and you can use, again, non-ECC or ECC. But when you do have that choice, keep in mind that on a budget, non-ECC is almost half the price, so I get why you would lean that way, but ECC is definitely going to be better in a server environment for just making sure that everything is going correctly and that all the errors are being corrected. But again, you have both options, and we built with both options. It's pretty much an even split out there that we see. So if you're looking for non-ECC or you're looking for ECC, we have both in stock, and we'll be able to do a quick turnaround. What about the speeds? Well, you can put in a 4800 speed, a 5200, or a 5600. Now, that can be a little deceptive because what you put in isn't always what it runs at, right? So the max that you're going to get is 5200 speed, and that's if you only put 1 DIMM per channel. And this box has 2 DIMMs per channel, which means there's 2 channels, so you would only be able to put in 2 sticks if you wanted to run at 5200 speed. As soon as you put in 2 DIMMs per channel, which most people are going to put in 2 DIMMs per channel and put 4 DIMMs inside, as soon as you do that, it's going to clock down to 3600. So just know that going into it, that 3600 is the true fastest speed you're going to get. So if it costs more to get 5600 and you can order 4800 for less, just order the 4800, because you're not going to get any extra performance for the 5600. So just something to note when you're out there and you're buying. That's some of the stuff we'll try to warn you in advance to steer you in the right direction. All right, let's talk about storage. So there's going to be 4 large form factor SATA drives in the front And if you do want us to convert it to a 2.5-inch solid state drive, yes, we can do that. That's very easy to do. So if you wanted to put in a SATA solid state drive in the front, you can do that. Or if you wanted to put in a SATA hard drive, those are going to be your two options for the front. And then built into the motherboard are two M.2s, and one of the M.2s is going to be PCIe 5.0 and one is going to be PCIe 4.0. So you have two M.2s, which is what most people are realistically going to use. They're going to want to drop in the two M.2s. And then again, there's some extra storage in the front, which is a nice feature that we've added compared to say Supermicro's box. You're going to get either one cabled in 3.5-inch drive or four cabled in 2.5-inch hard drives on top of their two M.2s, where with our box right here, you're going to get four hot swap large form factor drives or small form factor if you want, and then plus the two M.2s as well. This one only being one of them being PCIe 4.0 and one being PCIe 5.0, but we do have another box, our ARS-4LS, and that one does have two PCIe 5.0, so we do have both options there. And we also have some other boxes that are redundant hot swap, and we'll get to that too. And just do a little deeper dive for the four drives on the back plane. You can put in, again, a SATA SSD or a SATA hard drive. SAS is not supported. So with the SATA, you can put in 7.68 terabytes for the SSD, or you can go as high as 22 terabytes for the hard drive. We haven't put in 24. Probably works just fine, but you can go as high as 20, so you can put actually a decent amount of storage into this box as a whole, considering that you could put in four 20 terabytes and put in 80 terabytes total, drop in a couple of M.2s in the back, and you can get up to 8 terabytes on the M.2. So if you wanted to throw in a WD Black, or you wanted to toss in some of the new T705 Crucials just to get the great speed, all these are great options, and we will customize it for you. So you tell us what you want and we can make that happen. So that's what we're here for. Is again, we wanted to be a nice hub for people where you can come and get a box shipped out quickly however you want it and not have to wait the 6 to 12 week lead time that Supermicro currently has. And as far as speeds, the SATA SSD is going to be 6 gigabit per second, and for the SATA hard drive you're going to get 7.2K revolutions per minute. All right, so let's talk about the expansion port or the PCIe slot, as well as the network cards as a whole. So one of the downfalls of the Ryzens most of the time is there's only one PCIe slot for any of the chassis that are out there. That's just how they're designed. That being said, there are two built-in 1 gigabit RJ45 in the back. If you're using it at home, that's okay, because that might be the most speed you have at your house anyways. Don't get me wrong, some people pay for extra, but that might be the most speed you have at your house. And RJ45 is nice because that's what most people use at their house. But obviously you're putting in a data center, that's really not what you're going to want. You're going to want at least 10 gigabit, and you can do more than that. But that's one of the downfalls, is there's only one PCIe slot, and you're probably going to want to use it for your network card. So let's talk about that. So the PCIe slot is Gen 5, so that is nice and that's handy. You're going to be able to get a number of different interfaces. You can use RJ45, SFP, SFP+, QSFP, or QSFP28. The most that we've put in speed-wise is up to 100, so you can do 1 gigabit, 10 gigabit, 25, 40, or 100. Most of the time what we're stocking and building is going to be your dual port 10 gigabit RJ45 SFP+, but we do have cards for 25 gigabit and 100 gigabit in stock as well. So if there's something that you want, just let us know. If there's a specific card, if you prefer Intel, if you want Mellanox, we can accommodate really kind of whatever you want. But those are what we currently have spec'd in for our box. Let's talk about power supply. So we have a single cabled in 350 watt power supply. It's going to be 100 to 240 volt. It's going to be, again, just a single cabled in power supply. If you do want a redundant power supply, we have that option. Check out the ARA-4LS-2. That -2 is for the dual hot swap in the back. So that is an option that we do have. So again, if redundant power supply is important to you, we can accommodate. So we have both options. This specific box is a single cabled in 350. Last but not least, that brings us to supported operating systems. You have Windows Server 2019, 2022, 2025. You're going to have a number of different Linuxes, your Red Hat, your Ubuntu, to, and we're putting them all up there on this page for you. And you also are going to have VMware ESXi 8.0. So yes, VMware is supported. It's not certified, but it is supported and works just fine. Well, hey, if you made it this far, click that like and smash that subscribe. And if you're looking for any custom built ARA-4LSs, please email us at sales@cloudninjas.com. That's sales@cloudninjas.com. Thanks for stopping by, guys. Take care.